Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Brad with Pike Fitness, and I'm here in the Lions Den. I'm with Coach Joe, and we've just got done doing some deadlifting. And so if you want to check out that footage, you have to kind of go over to Joe's channel and check all that out. But in the wake of that, I saw something that I wanted to touch on and just try. And I didn't think it was hypercritical to kind of interrupt the flow of what we were doing to make the change then. But now that we have kind of a moment and things have quieted down, I want to try something with him that I think might make another difference for him while he deadlifts. And so what I noticed is when he was deadlifting before, he had his belt real low. So he had his soft belt on, and then he had this hard belt on, and that belt set pretty much right where it is right now. And so he went through, his deadlift ladder with me with it here. But what I've always felt as I deadlift is I tend to move my belt around, kind of depending on what I'm doing. And what I've found is that when I'm going maximally, I tend to bring my belt a little bit higher up on my abdomen so that it sits kind of right under my rib cage. And what I found is that in doing so, it gives me a little bit more stability on that interior tilt, so that I'm less likely or less able to lean forward. So by getting that good abdominal brace, having that belt high, big breath, and squeezing hard, I quite physically cannot rotate forward. And so it helps me maintain that back position so I don't give up any thoracic positioning during the duration of the lift. And so I didn't want to interrupt the flow, but I think it might be valuable now with a little bit less weight. We got 315 on the bar. I want to try to kind of walk that belt up on Joe just to see how it feels for him, to see if he can perceive or feel any difference with moving that belt in a higher position and how that might be for him. So that's kind of what we're going to do today. So typically you have your belt here. Let's come up just a little bit higher than what you normally do, so that the belt kind of sits a little bit lower in the back and a little bit higher in the front. And then just see how that feels for maybe a rep or two with 315, if you can feel any difference. Okay. So I want to focus on the same things that we talked about before. So take your time, get that good positioning, make sure that you're looking out, some distance, and get that high chest position too. Good. And one more rep. Cool. Does that feel any different being a little bit higher than?
Yeah, I definitely feel like I can get a way tighter brace, like up here. Like normally I would never feel it this tight. The belly button probably obviously a lot lower, but it feels a lot more secure. And I feel like my lower back maybe was a little bit tighter as well. Okay. So it feels pretty good to me, honestly. It's definitely different, something I never have played with, but it makes more sense. Just like when I can get way tighter just from that being up here versus a little bit lower.
Yeah. So the thing that I kind of want to highlight with this is like what you do is really shooter's preference. There's no one size fits all answer for anything, right? And everyone's going to be a little bit different and have kind of preference of where things go. But the thing too is to practice a little bit. So if you've kind of only had the belt in one position ever, it might be advantageous to try putting the belt in a slightly different position and see if that makes a difference for you. So if you're typically a person that rides that belt a little bit lower, try going a little bit higher so that the belt sits right up under the rib cage and see if that makes a difference. So for Joe with this weight here, he says it feels comfortable and it might be something worth kind of investigating as he goes further. Obviously, kind of spent ourselves a little bit earlier, so we're not going to get into it today. But critically, I just want to highlight the importance of just trying something different and not getting locked into one pattern and being able to kind of adjust things as you progress, because you may find that making that slight change can make all the difference for you instead of just doing what you've always done. Anything from you?
No, it's just definitely something I'm going to play with in the future. It definitely feels more supportive, and obviously the point of wearing a belt is to be as supportive as possible. So I think it's just going to take a little bit of time for me to adjust because it does feel a little bit different, but I think long term it's going to benefit me in my deadlift, allow me to get tighter, my setup, just get everything braced properly. So I'm just glad that he kind of pointed it out. And it's funny, as a lifter, you get very sometimes narrow-minded to how you lift, thinking that's the only way to lift. So when you have Brad come in and just make a minor tweak, such as raising the belt, where in my mind it probably would have been something completely different, maybe like something more with my setup, and we did kind of hit those points, but at the same time maybe something small like this could really make a big difference long term. So it's pretty cool for him to point that out, give me some feedback, and now I'm just excited to try as we move forward.
That's awesome.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I just appreciate the opportunity to try to help. So for me, it's like, that's awesome. All right, guys, that's it. I'm going to leave the information for the Lions Den below. Joe has been saying recently he welcomes people coming through, so if you're in the area, you know, come in, check out the gym. This is an amazing facility, and I'm sure if you come here, you have the workout of your life. I give all Joe's information as well, so if by some odd chance you don't happen to already follow him, you can find him and follow him and make sure that you're absorbing all the content that he puts out, because it's amazing stuff. I want to thank you guys for checking the video out. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop in the chat box below. I'll be sure to respond. I appreciate you guys. Continue to support me on the channel with everything you do and making what it is, and I can't wait to see what else we can do. Remember guys, no matter what it is you think you can't do, make a small adjustment to improve what it is you're doing. It's never going to happen unless you get in, you train to spite. You're either going to find an excuse, you're going to find a way, and I hope that you guys continue to find the way. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.